Hi guys, welcome to my channel Lush Gardener. I hope you guys are doing fine and are safe at home. So guys, today's topic is what are the types of pots that we can use for our succulents. Now guys, there are a variety of pots available in the market, the different sizes, different colors, different material. So we definitely have a lot of varieties of pots available in the market. But guys, it is very important to choose the right container for a succulent because not all materials would work well with succulents. So guys, let's talk about what are the different types of pots available in the market and what are the different materials that are available. We will talk about each material of pot in detail. Now guys, the first type of pot that we're going to talk about is a plastic pot. Now guys, plastic pots are available at any nurseries or at any plant stores. They are also not very expensive and plus they come in different colors, different shapes and different sizes. So guys, remember these plastic pots usually are very common in the color black. Now remember the color black tends to absorb lot of heat. Now what's going to happen is when you're going to place your succulent in the sun, the black color of the pot is going to absorb a maximum amount of heat, and if you belong to a city that has very strong sunlight, these pots will tend to get heated. Now when the pots tend to get heated, they indirectly start heating up the soil as well. Now when the soil gets heated, you know what's going to happen. The fragile weak or the fragile roots of the succulent are going to get affected because of the heat. So guys, you don't have to worry in case if you have lot of black plastic pots or any kind of plastic pots. You don't have to be worried. You can use these for propagation of leaves or for keeping small pups because they tend to like moisture, and you can keep these pots in the shade. So guys, the second one is our all-time favorite. Those are the glass bowls, also known as terrariums. Now guys, a lot of people have been asking questions. Is it possible to keep succulents in terrariums? Guys, the answer is very simple. No. Please do not keep your succulents in terrariums because terrariums are not meant for succulents. Remember guys, we did speak about succulents. They need to have porous soil. They need a well-draining soil. Now the reason why we need porous soil is one, that the water has to drain out quickly. Second reason for having porous soil is that there has to be a lot of aeration inside the soil. Now a terrarium would not provide that kind of environment for our succulents. So guys, and the second thing is, now terrariums are supposed to be kept indoors and succulents are not supposed to be kept indoors. So you can see that does not work out very well. Now even for example, if you say that okay, I'm going to keep my terrarium out in the sun, remember guys, succulent needs minimum 4 to 5 hours of direct sunlight. Now when you're going to place your terrarium outside, because of the sunlight, the terrarium that is made out of glass will also start to get heated, and it's going to turn out the same thing how the plastic pots tend to get heated, and that will indirectly heat up the soil inside the terrarium. So let's keep terrariums only for those plants that tend to like moist and humid conditions like petunias or ferns for that matter. But our succulents definitely do not like moist or humid conditions. They like it to be dry and cool. So let's keep our succulents away from terrariums. So guys, the next pot material is metal. Now metal or steel or aluminum, we have lot of boxes that are lying down in the kitchen that is of no use, and a lot of people who are very creative and who enjoy doing DIY, they can always choose such kind of material, but you have to be little careful. The first thing that you have to do is you have to make a drain hole in that container, and the second thing is you'll have to keep this type of material in a shaded place, because what's going to happen, just like our other materials, metal also tends to get heated when it is exposed to long hours of sun. But if this material is placed in a cool shaded area, then there is no problem as long as there is a drain hole present in the container. So guys, now that we have spoken about different type of materials and that do not work out very well with our succulents, then comes our clay pots or terracotta pots. Now guys, these pots are quite good. They work very well with our succulents because they are made out of porous material. Hence they work out very good for our succulents. But the only problem is clay pots tend to be little fragile, whereas our terracotta pots are not readily available everywhere. Hence, we find it little difficult. Otherwise, this material of pots are excellent for succulent growing. Now guys, the next type of material is concrete pots. Now guys, this is a very common type of material that is used for making pots, especially among people who want to make their own pots, like for DIYs or people who want to create and make their own pots. This tends to be a very common material used for making pots. So guys, I will be very soon making a video on how to make your own concrete pot. So stay tuned, that would be the next video that would be coming out very soon. Now just like clay and terracotta pots, even concrete pots are porous in nature, which means that they also tend to absorb excess moisture from the soil, or if there is excess water in the soil, these pots will tend to absorb all the excess water or excess moisture from the soil. So guys, here is a small clip that I will demonstrate and show it to you how the water tends to get absorbed into the concrete pot. Now I'm showing it to you without the soil so that it's much easier for you to understand. Now here the water is getting absorbed. You can see how quick the water is getting absorbed, but it is going to be much faster when there is a soil and when there is a succulent present in this pot. But you can see how well the water is being absorbed into the pot. Now guys, this water is getting absorbed outside the pot, so you do not have to be worried that it is going to stay within the pot and make the soil soggy. This will not do that because it is a porous material. This water is absorbed outside the pot. Now this is how the pot looks from outside. You can see all the water has been absorbed outside. Now there are two benefits of this. One is that when this water is absorbed outside, the soil dries faster, and if the pot is getting heated, this water is going to cool the pot from outside as well. So we have two benefits with concrete pots. Now guys, let's take for instance that you have a concrete pot or clay pot or a terracotta pot that are porous in nature, and let's say for example you belong to a city wherein the temperatures tend to rise quite high, maybe 40 or maybe 40 plus degrees. Now what's going to happen is that you are worried that your pots would get heated up. Now there is a very good tip that I can give you, or a hack that you can follow. This is only applicable for concrete, terracotta or clay pots only. So guys, in this method you do not have to move your pot anywhere. You can just leave it where it is. All you need is a bottle that has a nozzle that can spray water out of it. Now all you have to do is start spraying the pot with water whenever you feel that your pot is getting heated up. Now you can see as soon as the water starts hitting onto the pot, you can see how quickly the concrete pot is getting dried. Now guys, you do not have to be worried. This water is not going to go inside the pot. This is only wetting the outside of the pot and cooling the pot. So in this way, you do not have to be worried of moving your succulent pot. It can stay in the same place. The only thing that you have to do is just mist the pot from outside. Now the water is going to get absorbed only on the outside layer of the concrete, making it little cooler. In this way, you do not have to add water inside the pot to cool it down. Now this is the safest way that you can do, because as we said that succulents do not like to be moved every now and then, so that problem is solved in this method. You can keep misting the pot. Now any excess water will start flowing down, but as you can see in this video how quick the water is getting absorbed into the concrete pot, because the concrete pot was dry and it was getting little warm, but it was not very heated up, but it was warm, hence the water has got absorbed. Now this pot is completely cool, and at the same time I have not watered the succulent, so Even the overwatering problem won't happen over here because we are just misting the succulent pot from outside. So guys, you might have also noticed there are certain pots that tend to have stands beneath the pot. Now guys, apart from it making the pot look very unique, there are certain benefits that can help the succulents. Now guys, because there is so much of space under the pot, this tends to create a good air circulation and good aeration inside the pot as well. Apart from that, when you tend to water the pot, because there is so much of space in between, the water tends to flow out quicker. Now there is another reason guys. What happens is a lot of people stay in cities that tend to have very high temperatures. Now when the floor or the ground is exposed to high temperatures, they tend to get heated up and the same heat can get transferred to the pot. Now these stands tend to elevate the pot away from the ground, hence these pots do not get heated and that heat is not transferred to the pot. This is one of the unique feature of these stands on the pot. So a lot of people tend to also keep their succulents on tables, hence they avoid the floor. Now guys, in case if you do not have a table or you do not have much space, you can also make these shelves, hanging shelves as well. Because guys, remember, apart from the ground getting heated during monsoons, when the floor gets wet and if your pots are directly kept on the floor, they would also absorb that water from the floor. So it's very important to elevate them. Last but not least, our all-time favorite, ceramic pots. Guys, ceramic pots are amazing as planters. They have been used worldwide because they tend to make the succulent look very attractive. They are very compact and very easily placed anywhere in the house. But guys, you have to be little careful as these tend to have this glossy effect, due to which if they are exposed to long hours of sun, can get heated. So you have to be little careful while placing them anywhere in the garden area. But apart from that, succulents look absolutely fantastic in ceramic pots. So guys, that's it for today. I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please consider subscribing to my channel. Until then, take care, stay safe, bye bye.